Hello guys, it's me, Stark, and I'm here to record a build order for scouts. We already recorded one in the past week in order to produce archers, and now we're going to record one in order to go for scouts. So let's go, that's what we want to do. Changing the scenes, and we are going to use here the Berbers because they have no eco bonus, so whatever we do here on this build with the Berbers, you can do with any other civ. We are sending our scout and the ships here to explore the map for us. What is important here is for you to find a wood line and also your other resources, the other 4 ships and the 2 boars. Sending already another ship here to the TC. 6 villagers starting here on the food, and the next 3 we're going to send to a wood line and make a lumber camp. I always like to build in a way that helps to defend my base, so I'm going to choose here to go for this wood line here, which is on the back, not this one that's very forward, okay? Sending the ship back, still using the scouts to explore. There's one boar here, another one there. Here comes the wood. The thing about this build is, the fastest you can go to Feudal Age, the better. You want to have the time in there to attack your opponent using the scouts. And some civilizations are obviously better executing this build than others. So let's say Mongols because of the hunting bonus, Lithuanian because of the extra food, some other civs leverage by having upgrades such as Magyars, cheaper scouts, and they also have the forging, so they're a bit stronger. That's most of it. Khmer are also great. Oh, by the way, we're going now to the boar, and we are aiming to kill the boar. If you know how to kill the boar with the TC, you can do it. It's a big help to the build. But if you cannot do that, it's completely fine. Okay, just kill it regularly here. Never idle your TC, so if you need, drop the food. Sending a villager now to make a house. And later the same villager is going to make a meal for us, okay? We can scout our opponent here. Never idle the TC. We're now just gonna send villagers to collect the boars. Later we are going to the berries, but if possible, keep the most hunters you can during the Dark Age, because the food from hunt is way faster collected than the food from the berries and the farms and so on, okay? Oh, we find our opponent. Let's kill this boar. Shift kill the villagers during the TC. You will always want to minimize the walking time. We're going up until 14 villagers here to the food, and then we are going to switch towards the wood, okay? We can go for a population 20 here, but the goal is, if you can lure and if you have a civilization with some eco bonus, to go faster and faster to the Feudal Age. Right here, that's a standard build, we're going with population 20. So 2 more villagers towards the wood. Already quill your villagers to the next food source. We're gonna have 5 villagers on this wood. And then we're gonna make a loom and click up. Once you click up, we're going to retask those villagers to other stuff. Like, we are going to send at least 5 of those villagers towards the berries. Sorry, towards the wood. So let's get those 5s and send them to another wood. And we're going to get another 4 here and send to the berries. The fastest as you retask these villagers, the best your economy will be. We're going to play here with double lumber camp, but as I have mentioned it, there are a lot of variations to this build, so sometimes you might want to go for, let's say, one single lumber camp, 8 villagers instead of 10, lure to boost your uptime. Let's also get 2 villagers here to make for us here a barracks and a house. We need to do this until 60%. If you do more than that, you are just going to delay your uptime. So house and barracks, already building in a defensive way. Queuing up more villagers here on the TC. We are all, since we already have like 10 villagers on the wood, guys, all the new villagers that we are going to make, they are going to be focused on a very special task. We are going to focus those guys into collecting food. This is very important. We are going to focus 100% here on collecting food. So let's then already make a stable, and after that we are just gonna focus here on the food. Double beat axe, horse collar, stable. These villagers can already go to the stagglers. Another one you want to keep here to make a house. If you feel like you have to still protect yourself and finish your walls, go for it, do not play full open. But in this build, the main focus here is to keep making scouts and keep making farms. Farms, farms, scouts. We only have like 11 villagers here on the food, so we need to boost that up. We're gonna still keep sending villagers until we have around 18 on the food. The idea here is to use our scouts to pressure your opponent. We're having some struggle here on the food, but we didn't lure anything and nothing special on our sieve. Keep making farms, keep making farms. Let's task this one to make houses and finish walls for us. If you want to, you can boost your walling time here by sending more villagers. I suggest taking the ones from the wood, then you send them back. At least you get fully walled yourself. This is good to protect, for protection, right? All the new villagers to the stagglers, and as soon as you have 60 wood, you drop a farm. We're gonna keep doing this process until we have around 18 villagers here. 18 villagers on the food. 80 wood, farm. 80 wood, farm. Meanwhile, you keep producing scouts, you keep harassing your opponent for as long as you can. When do I suggest stop making scouts? Well, when you cannot raid your opponent anymore. $60 wood, we do it. Do not idle your TC. Keep making as much scouts as possible. At least one builder you are gonna keep as a builder for the rest of Feudal Age, to keep making houses, reinforcing your walls, and so on. We have already 18 on the food right now. See? Counting all those views, we have 18 on the food. Now that we have 18 on the food, we can consider going towards the gold. We can start collecting gold in a regular build. And of course, we also want to transition those villagers from the berries to the farms. If you can transition all those villagers before the berries are over, it's better, you know, so you have the full resources here. Let's stop making scouts. If you want to keep making scouts for as long as you wish, it's fine, you can just keep it. You can just boost your scouts as well by making like a blacksmith to make forging, by making bloodlines. Ooh, some idle. Our builder is still working here, huh? Reinforcing the weak spots of our base. There we go. 18 on the food. We sent more villagers here towards the gold. I'll keep sending villagers here towards the food. And I'll keep making farms. We stop it at 18. Now it's always a matter of, are you gonna keep making scouts or do you want to go up? If you want to keep making scouts, keep sending villagers and making a few more farms. You can go until like 21, 22. Later you can retest them, or you can even enable your economy to play with a full stable approach. So those are the basics of the build. We're reinforcing here the weak spots of our base. Those guys should be raiding non-stop. And as soon as we can click up to the next stage. So that's the idea behind the build. You want to maximize the amount of farms you are taking. You first focus on getting 18 on the food. Later you can switch to other resources in a standard scenario where you are playing more with scouts. Of course, if you are just gonna make only 3 or 4 scouts, a very small number, you can always go faster for the gold, since you are focusing here on clicking up and not into making scouts. If you want to boost your scouts, the best upgrades for you to do are the bloodlines and the forging during the initial stage of the game, especially in 1v1. If you're playing team game and you are just facing like lots of archers, you might go for the scale barding armor instead of the cavalry attack, okay? So we're gonna make these upgrades, sending these new builds to the wood, upgrading the gold. And here's the deal, since we already had the wheelbarrow, those farms are gonna have to be reseeded around 22 minutes. But if you do not use the horse collar, right now you should be already having to reseed the farm. So if you didn't do it on the beginning of Feudal Age, you do it now, as soon as you click up to castle, okay? Or if you're going to stay longer in Feudal Age, you try to do it before your farms start to run off. Right here, what do you need? A new stable. 2 stables at least to keep making that. If you want to go for those very aggressive 3 stable approaches, what you need to do is to invest a bit more on the farms, go until like 22, 24 farms, and then focus on collecting more gold. So minimize your wood here. If you want, you can already correct your wood line by adding new lumber camps, or you can save up the resources to make town centers. If you're playing like a team game, it's always a matter of analyzing the situation. Do you need more army? You can go for 3 stables. Do you feel like you need to prioritize some upgrades like the attack? You might go for the scale barding armor. Later you make the switch here. Or if you want to just drop the season boom, you can just start dropping the season boom, make like the bow saw in every situation, and goes from here. So that's the basics idea here between the scout build. I just did a small follow-up here that you can pretty much use in 1v1s, in team games, when you are playing like full scouts here and full cavalry. Okay, so that was the idea. Hope you enjoy it.